What's up, Whoopers? It's Vice here, and I'm coming at you with something that looks a little bit special, a little out of the ordinary. There's not one, but two, and not three, but four Stage 2 Pokemon in this Obsidian Flames format Torterra deck. As you know, if you've been following the channel for a little while, Torterra is a deck that I like to visit every time a new set comes out. We had some fantastic additions to it in the form of Luxray and Reversal Energy, at least as options to the deck when the previous set came out, Paldea Evolved. And now, with the new set, Obsidian Flames, we've got a very fantastic addition to the tool set. We've got the Pidgeot EX. So, look, I'll take it from the top, give you a really quick rundown on how this deck works, send some gameplay your way, and that'll be it. So, starting off, we got Torterra, 190 HP, Grass-type Stage 2 Pokemon. It's all about that attack, Evo Press, 50 times the number of evolution Pokemon you have in play. So, if you've got 6 Pokemon, 300 damage, not too shabby. Consider some of the new prominent decks in the format, namely that Charizard EX, weak to grass. There's a very compelling reason to want to consider something like Torterra or other grass-type Pokemon. I like Torterra. I'm giving it a go. And we're setting it up with a bunch of Pokemon that should help it work towards executing on its game strategy. Now, in previous iterations of the Torterra deck, I've focused on boosting the HP with this philosophy of if Torterra ever survives an attack, it sort of alleviates the pressure on your setup. But I think with the likes of Pidgeot and Luxray running around in the format, you've got a way of maintaining that higher tempo that is sort of desirable when you're playing a deck like this, being able to keep up with the tempo that your opponent's putting out. So let's have a look at the other evolution Pokemon in the deck. For the draw support, I've chosen to go with this 2-2-1 Kirlia into Gallade line. Now, the reason why we're playing the Kirlia is that it's a way to draw through your deck. It's a little bit easier to get than, say, Bibarel, and it's not a Stage 2 evolution like some of the other considerations I'd had earlier in the week, like with the Togekiss. So, Kirlia being a little bit easier to put into play and not really, like, requiring a rare candy to sort of get that bench slot going, so to speak. It's sort of inert as a Ralts, but once it's evolved and you're off and away, then it's good, right? So that's why I've got the Kirlia. And then the reason why I play the Gallade, it's sort of to use it in tandem with the Pidgeot so that you've got multiple targeted searches on your turn. And in the mid to late game, can be very powerful. I include cards like Raihan, so Buddy Catch essentially becomes 2 targeted searches in the late game between itself and Pidgeot. So very, very powerful. Swirling Slice, not to be sneezed at either. 160, preserve that reversal energy, put it to the bench. Not a bad option as well. So I've got the Gallade, and we've got the Luxray here. It's very good because you can put it straight into play, so another Stage 2 Pokemon that doesn't require, you know, like a rare candy to get it active and going via Swelling Flash. And of course, Wild Charge, 180, big chunk of damage. Cleans up 1 prizes like nobody's business. Can also one-shot things like opposing Pidgeot EXs, Palkia V-Star, and even Lugia if you come up against it. So very, very nice consideration for the deck. Very powerful to be able to instantly replace a Pokemon with a Stage 2. So one of the things that this deck, you know, has to play around is the fact that often your max is going to be 250, not 300, because even if you have 5 fully evolved Pokemon, or 6 fully... If you ever get 6 fully evolved Pokemon in play, and your opponent knocks out your active, well, you can't just, like, instantly evolve another Pokemon. But Luxray allows you to get an evolved Pokemon in play straight away. So that's the other sort of beneficial aspect to it. It is a plus 50 to your Evo Press, so consider that. And then, finally, our 4th Stage 2 Pokemon in the deck is, of course, the Pidgeot, one of the premier cards out of Obsidian Flames, Quick Search. Once during your turn, search your deck for a card, put it into your hand. You can only use 1 of that effect every turn. So, very powerful in a deck that constantly needs to find combo pieces to keep it going. Pidgeot, Gallade, got the Luxray for your auxiliary damage, and also the Swelling Flash ability, 4/4 on the Torterra. And you've just got Manaphy here to help you in the early game, help you survive against the likes of Greninja. So even if they knock it out eventually, you sort of don't care, because eventually you hit a point where things like Greninja aren't really a big deal. So Manaphy's there, and it helps. Now, one of the big changes I made with the list too is I've moved away from like including so many of these Capturing Aroma. Throughout the week, I sort of like iterated on the list, tried a bunch of different things. I settled on using a 4 count of Great Ball. I was trying Ultra Ball, but I found that the discards were too heavy to contend with. Great Ball has good odds of hitting a Pokemon all throughout the game. You have more than 20 Pokemon in the list. When you hit over 20 Pokemon in a list, I think Great Ball can be an inclusion that you can consider. Very often there will be a better choice, but in a deck like this, where like every single card is pretty precious to your strategy, Great Ball is pretty good. And you've already got Kirlia in the deck to trim out cards that you don't need as the game goes on, and also to get Grass Energy in the discard pile at times for the Raihan play. Now, speaking of your supporters, you've got a couple of, you got a split of Boss's Orders and Serena. You've got 3 Iono to provide you shuffle and draw all throughout the game. Miriam, well, it's not shuffle and draw, it's put to the bottom of your deck and draw. Don't forget about that. Miriam and Super Rod split as a 1-on-1. I find that on some turns, you need to be able to play a supporter and recover Pokemon at the same time. So you run 1 Super Rod, but because there's so many Pokemon and that there's an innate reliance on not just Pokemon being put on the bench, but also being evolved all throughout the game, Miriam is a very welcome addition, being able to get back at least 2 evolution lines on its own. A couple of Raihan, very important to be able to fetch very exact cards, and also the energy acceleration aspect is very welcome in a deck that requires 2 energies to attack unless you're using reversal energy. 4 Artazon here to help you set up. In previous iterations of the deck, I ran no Stadium, but now that we have somewhat of a reliance on Pidgeot, having a counter Stadium is good. Only a couple of reversal energy, which might seem surprising in a deck like this, but to be honest, it's only useful in the mid to late game. You spend a lot of time trying to set up with the deck, and then I find that you only sort of need it towards the end of the game. I think it's a rare game where you wish you had more than 2 reversal. And the 7 grass, I really value having a decent chunk of grass energy available. Seeing as you've got a single prize attackers, you've got to attack so many times throughout the game, you need the energy available to be able to do that. And between the grass energy, the reversal energy, and the Raihan, to me, it is enough. So, for Rare Candy to get your Pokemon into play. And I think the rest of the deck is just, well, I've pretty much just spoken about all of the cards. So, all the cards come together, a bit of a symphony, if you like, of Stage 2 Pokemon. I've got a game coming up for you. It should demonstrate what this deck looks like in a fairly standard game, I think, showing how you need to sort of play from behind early and finish in the late game with good decision-making and powerful attacks out of the Torterra. So if you like decks that look like this, and this is, this is something special, a 4-stage 2 deck, please consider liking the video, maybe subscribe if you're feeling generous, and I'll see you in the next live stream or video. I stream 5 nights a week on Twitch. I'd love to see you there, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Enjoy. All right, we got Great Ball and Nest Ball, so we'll see if the Great Ball theory holds up, or if it's just going to be a sad time. So you got to remember sequencing a little when you play a deck with Great Ball in it. You got to think, well, I want to make sure that the Great Ball hits something. So you want to play Great Ball before your other ball search, and then you can like plan your turn around whatever you grab with this card. It's one of those like little theme deck format skills that rarely, well, I wouldn't say rarely, but often manifests in like other ways when you play, but it's not so obvious, I guess, unless you like literally play Great Ball in a deck. Dragonite, you ran into Arczard with Basculin to set up. I like that. I like that. But I think something like Mew is probably better. Waka, your rule when it comes to the cards is number 1, never run one-ofs, because the card is it's so not important in the deck to run 2 or more of if you don't run it at all. It's hard. I think like that is less true the more like search cards we get. So, for example, now that we've got Pidgeot EX in format, you can get every one-of in your deck whenever you want. So, I think it all comes with the context of what the format looks like. That's what you have to consider. So we've got Iono this turn too. So we've got like a lot of opportunity to set up, I think. I think I'm gonna chuck Pidgey on the bench. And then we'll go Ralts and we'll go another Turtwig. And I think that's like a pretty good turn 1 for us. I'm going to put an energy on the Turtwig. It might seem suspect to want to do that since this is likely to get knocked out. But the thing is this Turtwig, if the energy hits the discard pile, is it time for some giveaways? Mate, if we get to 800 followers, I'll give away 30 codes. They'll be from random sets, but I'll run a giveaway for them. Alright, this is good. With the hand that we've got, I'm looking at the Grotle rather than grabbing another Turtwig. Gallade is tempting, but we've got no rare candy in the hand. Artazon is nice too. Now we can just go for another Pokemon. I'm looking at a second Pidgey with this hand. Oh, you've got codes to give away. Thank you so much, Zorka, and thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. So not much else to do with the hand. We just bite with Turtwig. And we'll have to play out from there. It's going to be a little awkward, though. Because if they just knock out the Turtwig, then we've only got one Turtwig ourselves in play. But what I'm angling for with the turn upcoming is we promote Pidgey, evolve Turtwig into a Grotle, and then play it out from there. I think we'll be okay. Thank you so much, Zorka. Hey Chris, how's the deck evolving? So at the moment, I'm trying 4 Great Ball in the list. Which sounds sus. But, it could be good. Thanks so much, Zorka. My hair's being goofy. Alright, promote Pidgey. We got free retreat off Beach Court, so that's good. So I'm looking at a Miriam straight away. I don't want to put back the... sorry, I don't want to Grotle and then... Well, maybe I do, actually. Yeah. Okay. We'll do it like this. Take Grotle. Sundrenched Shell. Turtwig. Put on the bench. Miriam. So this gives us Ralts, and that's nice. So let's do that. Sorry, not Ralts, Kirlia. Refinement. I'm looking at getting rid of the Pidgeot here, since we got 2 in the hand. We sort of like don't need both, right? Oh, actually, no. I'm going to get rid of this Ralts. Because we've got Turtwig in the hand. Alright, this is a little awkward. But it's fine. We can afford to fall behind by a couple of prizes because we one-shot their stuff. Thanks so much, Zorka. There's only like a small group here at the moment, so not sure if anybody's grabbed the codes yet. But if you do, be sure to let us know what you pull. I like this album, but we'll do something different. Let's listen to some sessions. Oh, that's rather annoying. Wasn't really planning on having to deal with boss's orders there, but we'll just have to make do. Speaking of boss's orders. Alright, it's gonna be a refinement. Gotta hope for something good here. Rare Candy gives us the Pidgeot. Pidgeot gives us Torterra. Sorry, not Torterra, Grotle. So let's use quick search. Actually, the other thing we could go for here is Gallade too, but I'm not... I don't think I need it this turn, right? What else can we do? 180 with Luxray is not really doing a lot. We could Raihan. Well, we could do that. How much are we doing? This helps get us some energy into play, so I don't mind playing it like this. So, we've only got the one Grotle. So I'm gonna need to play the Super Rod, which is a little annoying. That's alright. Actually, I should Gust here with Pidgey. The reason being that we can finish it off with Luxray on the following turn. So I'm going to do that. It seems weird. But trust me. Just trust me. Gust. So do 20 here. They do whatever with Raikou, and then we hit back with Luxray. It's gonna be a close game. A bit difficult to win, especially because these have 310 HP. These two. So, I haven't really got, like, an easy answer to deal with the 3-prizer. And we might just lose, because they could end up just bossing Pidgeot and winning that way, too. Alright. So, we're going to try and play towards... having Luxray. But there's only like a few outs to it, right? We got a refinement here. And we'll get rid of the Pidgeot. That one's a dead card at this point now. Okay, we got the reversal energy, so that's good. That actually gives us like exactly what we need. What do we like here? I think I like Gallade. Right. Because then we can Iono them and put them at 3 cards. I think this is a good spot for Luxray to get some work done. I don't want to put Artazon down. So let's Buddy Catch. Grab Iono. Disrupt their hands. Maybe I want to put Roxanne in the deck. That would be interesting. I mean, you should probably just cash this out, right? I don't need to, though. It's like I want to, though. But we don't have to. Alright, Wild Charge. There's that Pidgeotto, and there's a Grotle. I had a feeling I would get this off the prizes. So now we're starting to come back from behind. It's still spooky. It's still a very spooky game. But let's see how we do. We're doing 250. Them benching this is GG, I think. If they attack with Miraidon here, we know we've got another boss. We've got 2 boss in the deck, so we should be able to win now. It's going to be close. But I think as long as I Iono on the turn upcoming and knock this out, like, they've just got to get lucky, basically. And so we don't care about that because we've got Gallade. Got Grotle to grab our Torterra. It's all gravy. We'll get there. Hi, Heat Ender. Welcome. Do I play Yu-Gi-Oh as well? Have not played Yu-Gi-Oh for nearly 20 years, which is kind of scary to think about. When I played Yu-Gi-Oh, Jinzo just came out. Oh boy, Jinzo was pretty cool. So I want a quick search here, I think. Because we're still, like, behind in prizes, right? So I want a quick search. We've got the Iono. We're going to use the reversal energy here. I'm just going to check the deck as well. We've got 3 Torterras, so we're on good pace to get it done here. We're going to do this, right? Yeah. But otherwise, no. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is really interesting. And I kind of like watching videos about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't play it myself. Oh, we're about to have a problem. Oh, okay, we got Turtwig. We've got Rare Candy too. Okay. That's good. So next turn there's like a few things that we need to find. But we should be okay. We've got Raihan, we've got Gallade, we've got all sorts. So we should be able to win. The one thing we need to do is not evolve this Grotle. We want to save this Torterra for Rare Candy off of this one. Evo Press for 250. We take 2 prizes. And we'll see how we do. Alright, we're hanging on. We're hanging on. Serena in the hand. We got this one. So what we need is for our opponent not to draw boss's orders. Because we instant lose in that case. And as long as they don't have that, we're alright. Now, if they just had boss's orders off that Iono, there's not a lot we can do about it. But otherwise, yes. Okay, we're good. We're good. We win. As long as they don't have like cross switcher or something silly. Somehow. I don't know. But yeah, to answer your question, Ender, no. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is super cool, but not a Yu-Gi-Oh player myself. I've known a few Yu-Gi-Oh players over the years who have also like played in Pokemon as well. So it should just be a matter of sequence here. No path to the peak to worry about either, which is nice. And it'll be a simple matter of quick search. Quick search for Rare Candy. Rare Candy into the Torterra. We've got the energy in hand. Boss. They shouldn't have benched the Miraidon. Close game, but there you go. That's a pretty open and close game of what would you call this? Torterra, Pidgeot, Gallade, Luxray. It's there's a lot going on in this deck, but if you keep it together, if you hold it together, like this deck can work. And so like the change that I've made after playing it for a few nights in a row is just Great Ball in order to help preserve the resources that you have access to. I think that was a great game. So look, this will probably make its way into a YouTube video. So if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.